A pharmacy taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 13th day of July 2022, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that you had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, please ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because remember, if you do so, then the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, and we want to remind you that the birthday shout-outs are proudly brought to you by life insurance agents Michael Webster and Miranda Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center, and they want to remind you that you should not take chances with your family's future. So, if you're celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility, either here or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paula Cal, is in the studio waiting to take your calls this morning. You can call us on our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. So if you know anyone who's celebrating a birthday today, or any other significant event like a anniversary, wedding anniversary, graduation, whatever, feel free to call us and share that information with us. Meanwhile, some of notable persons who are celebrating a birthday today, we have actor Patrick Stewart. He turns 82 today. Harrison Ford, who turns 80 today. Who else do we have here? Comedian Cheech Marin. Remember Cheech and Chong? Well, Cheech Marin turns 76 today. David Crosby, also director Cameron Crowe, celebrating a birthday today as well. So, there's some more birthdays for you. One of our listeners sent an email, and I'm going to read this one, and then there's another one that I'll talk about as well. It says, sincere and hearty congratulations to Dr. Samantha Dorman, who was recently promoted to the post of Acting Senior Veterinary Officer in the Department of Agriculture. Dr. Dorman is a product of the government school system, having graduated from John Gray High School. She subsequently completed the Cayman Prep and High School Sixth Form program and continued her studies in New Zealand. Well done. The writer says it is pleasing to see many of our local graduates take their place in well-deserved strong leadership positions as well. And we also want to extend our congratulations to Dr. Dorman as well. So, Doc, I want to thank you for being in the studio with me again this morning. I know that you have to head off to court at some point in time as well. But good morning and welcome back.
Good morning to you, Mr. For the Record, and good morning to all your listeners in the For the Record land and in all your listeners in the Cayman diaspora and all of those who listen to you on For the Record on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Yes, thank you for asking me to come back again. I have been in court now since the 23rd of May.
Wow.
And I think this week should be the last week. I think that I believe that the case will probably go to the jury tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm quite sure of that. So I think perhaps by Friday we should have a verdict in a long matter, which involved some four defendants, and my office is representing two of them.
Okay.
With a QC from abroad, and it's been very, very tiresome and long days in court, long preparations in after court, in the mornings and in the nights and so forth. So I think this is going to be one of the last cases that I do, as marathon cases that I do, because I can't continue that struggle anymore, and also to run my office, yes, and also to be chairman of all the boards that I'm on, and yes, also come to see you.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yes. It's and of course I'm no spring chicken anymore.
Yeah. Remind us of your age.
It's 87.
Wow.
And I'll be 88 in January. And I'm still working. I'm still going strong. And
that's what keeps you young.
Yes.
Remaining active.
I'm remaining active, and there's no retirement for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not retiring. I mean, I that word retire. I see a lot of people who retired and they fell apart. Some of my family did that and fell apart, and I'm not retiring. I'm going to the last day. Because there's no sense in keeping your body going, keeping your mind going, and all of a sudden you shut it down,
yes,
and then walk away and sit in your room in your house and stuff. That's not good. You will not last long like that. So I'm going keeping the blood flowing and pumping.
Okay. So we're going to talk about another Caymanian who's been appointed as well, and this is a press release issued recently. Caymanian appointed as Deputy Solicitor General. This was issued yesterday, the 12th of July. Caymanian Mrs. Marilyn Brandt has been promoted to Deputy Solicitor General in the portfolio of legal affairs. This is the first time that a Caymanian attorney has been appointed as Deputy Solicitor General. Mrs. Brandt brings to the job 14 years experience gleaned as a practicing public sector attorney following being called to the Cayman Islands bar She gained professional practice experience by being an article clerk within the Attorney General's chambers and a portfolio of legal affairs. Deputy Governor and Head of the Civil Service, the Honourable Franz Madison, MBE, Certificate of Honour, JP, commented on the recent appointment. He's quoted as saying, "I am delighted that a Caymanian civil servant who is also a public sector practicing attorney has been promoted for the first time to this senior position. This is certainly a testimony to the capabilities, qualifications, and work of this hard-working and dedicated career civil servant." Recalling that Mrs. Brandt worked as a colleague at the Immigration Department when he was head of immigration, the Deputy Governor added, and I quote, "Her work ethos of giving her best and pursuing excellence struck me as stellar qualities. I am pleased she will also lead the clerkship program for Caymanians seeking to become lawyers who will learn about work behind the scenes on behalf of Cayman Islands government. I wish Mrs. Brandt well in her current role." The Attorney General, Honourable Samuel Bulgin, QC, commented that Mrs. Brandt's promotion within the portfolio is timely, and he looks forward to her continuing growth and professional development as an invaluable member within the chambers of the Attorney General. The promotion is also an endorsement of succession planning within the Cayman Islands government, in particular at the portfolio of legal affairs under the leadership of the Attorney General and the Solicitor General, Ms. Reshma Sharma, QC. Mr. Madison commented, "I am equally elated that succession planning played a part in promotion of Mrs. Brandt. I laud the Attorney General and Solicitor General in this regard." And there's also a quote from the Solicitor General herself. Goes on to say Mrs. Brandt's core legal work within the portfolio work includes providing extensive advice on behalf of the Attorney General to the Cayman Islands government on matters concerning immigration, children's law, planning, contract, and employment. Additionally, she prepares and represents CIG before both the Grand Court and the Court of Appeals. She also appears on CIG's behalf before statutory tribunals, including the Health Appeals Tribunal, Planning Appeals Tribunal, and Civil Service Appeals Commission. Mrs. Brandt is also the chairperson of the Expungement Board, which deals with the erasing of criminal records for eligible persons who have committed minor infractions of the law and served their time as handed down by the Cayman Islands judicial system. She's also an ex officio member of the Cayman Islands Development Bank's Board of Directors, as well as the legal advisor to the Medical and Dental Council, the Trade and Business Licensing Board, the Liquor Licensing Board, and the Builders Board. The article clerkship program is run by the Attorney General's Office Chambers and goes on to talk about that. It goes on to say that Mrs. Brandt's 14 years of experience as an attorney in CIG's employ began in the then legal department headed by the Attorney General, which included Criminal Division, now Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. After completing her Bachelor of Law degrees from the University of Liverpool and through the Truman Borden Law School, followed by a professional practice course. So it goes on to talk about all of her accomplishments and everything. And that is all good, Doc. We're going to take a commercial break. But when we return, I want to focus on this part of the release. And congratulations to Mrs. Brandt. We wish her all the best. Extremely proud of her. But this paragraph starts by saying, this is the first time that a Caymanian attorney has been appointed as Deputy Solicitor General. Folks, with all due respect to Mrs. Brandt and all of the others, is that progress? That is my rhetorical question. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we're going to talk about whether we have progressed and how far. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
A significant development or lack thereof in Cayman Islands history is the absence of archaeological evidence of Amerindian settlements. Archaeologists searched starting from the 1920s when Mr. Jesse Fuchs came to the island until 1994 when archaeologist William Keegan explored the shores and caves around Grand Cayman. However, this did not prove productive as no evidence of previous human occupation was found. The Amerindians of the Caribbean have been long known to have excellent maritime skills, traveled long distances, settling in Jamaica, Cuba, and the Isle of Pines, but there has been no proof of settlement in the Cayman Islands. It is almost incomprehensible that these proficient mariners would have simply missed the existence of these islands. A more believable prospect is that the islands did not have much to offer the previous visitors, given the absence of fresh water, edible foliage, not to mention the abundance of crocodile guardians that were present here.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Hi, I'm life insurance agent Michael Webster.
And I am Randy Lawson from Cayman Insurance Center.
Proud sponsors of the birthday shoutouts on For the Record.
Whether you're another year older or just a year wiser,
making sure your family is protected is a pretty wise choice. I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
And I am Randy Lawson at 322-2145. Give us a call today to find out how you can better secure your family's future.
Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future.
It's not time for Christmas bells yet, but it is time to start thinking about your holiday parties and decor. AI Rentals can help. From a family get-together to your office's holiday party, we can make it the happiest time of year for everyone and make it stress-free for you. We do it all. AI Rentals can help you plan, coordinate, and execute your small or large events to fit within your budget. Get in touch today by emailing info@ai-rentals.com or call us on 946-4935 for more information. Think events. Think AI Rentals.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Dr. Steve Macfield. If anyone is planning on calling in, I would say to you, hold off on your calls until after the 8 o'clock news, because we have about 6 minutes before we go off to our 8 o'clock news. So, Doc, Solicitor General, the position of Solicitor General, the Director of Public Prosecutions, all introduced in our 2009 Constitution. We have never had a general, and with all due respect to the post holders, the persons who are holding these posts that I mentioned, we have never had a generational Caymanian as Attorney General. I believe at one point in time, Mr. Truman may have acted as Attorney General, but we have never had a generational Caymanian in that position. DPP, Solicitor General, never had a generational Caymanian in that position until now with the Solicitor General. Can we really speak to that and call that, advancement for Caymanians, that we're further ahead than we were before?
Well, when you were reading that announcement, I wonder. I say to myself, can I be happy about that? Can I celebrate that?
Yes.
I'm not celebrating. I can't be happy about that and celebrate that. Remember now, it's nearly 50 years since the first Caymanians got qualified as lawyers. Truman Bodden, Adriana Webb.
1983.
Truman, no.
Oh, well, before that,
Before that,
I'm talking about the law school. Yes.
1970s.
That's correct, yeah.
I think Adriana Webb probably 1976. David Rich, 1976, me in 1977, Mr. Levy, all of us. And remember, David Rich and I was in the legal department also, along with Seymour Panton, who now the retired Court of Appeal judge, President of Court of Appeal in Jamaica. And then there was Mr. Barbic, who was the Attorney General, and then there was Mr. Donaldson, who was the legal draftsman at the time. There were 5 of us in the legal department. And This matter here reminds me of the controversy when I came back, because when I came back, the Legislative Assembly had voted $200 in a vote to keep a post of Assistant Attorney General or Deputy Attorney General open, and they had been advertising that in the UK, in the UK legal papers, in the UK legal
journals
papers, journals for the Attorney General. So when I came home, I inquired about it. And Jim Bodden went to the governor and says, well, Steve is here. He was clerk of the courts. Why is it that he doesn't qualify for that post? And then lo and behold, Mr. Seymour Panton didn't know that post was being advertised abroad when he was senior Crown Counsel. And David Rich and I were junior Crown Counsels. And I don't know if that prompted him to leave or not, to go back to Jamaica. But I know shortly after that he left and went back to Jamaica. And so that what they did, they eliminated that post from post altogether. They eliminated that post altogether, so that no Caymanians would be able to have become Assistant Attorney General or Deputy Attorney General, whatever the post was at the time that the Legislative Assembly had voted the money for. So the problem is, from the 1970s, near 50 years now, this is the first time that a Caymanian can have on the job.
Yeah.
It is, or it's a real slap in the face to put that in the paper to say that she's the first Caymanian.
Yeah.
When this is Cayman.
Yeah.
I could say if she was in Alaska.
And we're in the 21st century.
and say she went to Alaska and she was the first Caymanian to hold a job in Alaska, but not in her own hometown. Hometown. It goes to show you how disrespectful they are to our Caymanian people and how they have kept us back all of this long time and how they do not intend. And who they? Our own people. Our own people do not intend to see us advance. Do not intend to see us advance at all.
And I know you can't say much about this because you're an officer of the court, but we will soon have a new Chief Justice.
Exactly.
And you can bet your bottom dollar that it will not be a generational Caymanian.
It will not be a generational Caymanian. And every time someone dies or retires or walk away, they find someone from Timbuktu to put in the position, even though Caymanians are qualified for the job. So I am not. I am elated about that news. I'm saddened about that news, and in fact, I am not happy about it at all. To say that first Caymanian, they should never have put that piece in the paper. Yeah. They should have just said Miss Brandt was promoted, but they should not say the first Caymanian.
Nothing to brag about in that. And with all due respect to her and her accomplishments and everything, everything else,
Yes.
We don't want to distract from that at all.
No.
Well, I must say this, in reading about the late Governor Michael Gore, I must say I can recall up until this day, and it was outside of the what used to be the enforcement section of immigration to the west, and he was visiting departments and stuff like that, and came over there, and he said to me, "I've heard a lot about you, and if you continue to work hard, keep a level head, you're going to be in charge of this department eventually." And in 1996, 97, that came to pass.
Yes,
that came to pass.
The late Governor Michael Gore was a promoter of Caymanians' interests. I remember being in the delegation with him with some 40 odd people in 1995. When George McCarthy, I think the Honorable George McCarthy was the Minister of Finance, or I think he was the Minister of Finance,
Financial
Secretary, and I was a member of the government private sector advisory committee, the only sole practitioner at that time on that committee, and they invited me to travel with them to New York, to London, and to Hong Kong to sell Cayman offshore business. And I remember the consternation it was when all the other big shot lawyers saw me as part of the group. And what they did, although I spent over $20,000 preparing myself and getting my book read and stuff, they never distributed my paraphernalia. They never distributed my stuff to the delegates that came to the meetings to the meetings that we had in New York, London, and Hong Kong. Although I gave a dissertation on company formation in the Cayman Islands and the use of companies. So he was, and I liked him. He was a promoter of Caymanians' interests.
Excellent. Okay, we reached the top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, we have a Old Tradewinds newspaper, July of 1979. I'll tell you who shared that and have shared copies of the Northwester with me. And we're going to talk a lot about a lot of things that we're talking about today. Some 40-something years ago, same situation here in the Cayman Islands. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check now, 8:01. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
So it's your turn to cook tonight. What are we having?
Well, we have chicken thighs, pork chops, sirloin steak, ground chicken, or beef stir fry.
Wow, so many options.
Yeah, I got them from the Foster's Pick 5 selection. You can choose any 5 specially marked packs for $19.99. The meat is always fresh and never previously frozen. It's the perfect way to stock up for the week.
So all of this only costs $19.99?
It sure did.
Pick 5 is available in the meat department at all Foster's supermarket locations. Foster's, better value because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego with your latest news. A key message from the most recent Public Health Spotlight covering Epidemiological Week 26 is about the importance of testing. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
In the past month, health officials say COVID-19 incidence has remained at a similar level, while the number of PCR tests conducted continues to decline. The Public Health Spotlight says in order to understand the impact of recent changes to COVID-19 regulations, including face masks no longer being mandatory and the removal of pre-arrival COVID-19 tests, it is important that individuals who experience symptoms or have a positive LFT conduct a confirmation PCR. Without this, health officials are unable to understand transmission in the community and effectively monitor new variants. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
Hazard Management Cayman Islands staff has been busy training the Cayman Islands Regiment team on what to do with shelters across the Cayman Islands should we be hit by a disaster and need to open shelters to residents. HMCI's Logistics and Operations Officer Aidan Powell tells CIGTV the training includes 44 regiment volunteers, equipping them with the understanding of the procedures, tools and equipment housed at the shelters.
And right now, as it stands, Hazard Management has 19 throughout the islands. So 1 in Little Cayman, 3 in Cayman Brac, and 15 here in Grand Cayman. So that is just one element of what we do in Hazard Management. But what we try to do, we heavily invest ourselves in the mitigation and the preparedness element of it, because we're strong believers that if you're prepared for it, you will understand your risks and you know your hazards, and you find some ways to mitigate all that situation.
If you'd like to be a shelter volunteer, you're encouraged to contact HMCI for the criteria and training information. The Cayman Islands Parliament building will be celebrating its 50th anniversary next week, a special 2-hour event from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, July 21st. Open to the public on Parliament's steps and in Fort Street. The celebration will include performances and a dozen acts, as well as a live painting of the event created by a local artist and fireworks to round off the event. And finally in the news, management consulting firm FTS Cayman is hosting an AML risk management seminar exclusively for directors. Here's Radio Cayman's Felicia Rankin-Solins with more.
The seminar's agenda includes Cayman Islands Monetary Authority Regulatory Framework for Directors by Rohan Bromfield, Head of Fiduciary Services Division in CIMA, Risk Management and the Non-Executive Director's Role by Louis Cooper, CEO and one of the founders of the UK's Non-Executive Directors Association, the AML Board Oversight Framework, Understanding a Non-Executive Director's Role in a Typical AML Policy Framework by Paul Biles, Director of FTS, and a panel discussion Q&A with the speakers. The half-day seminar at Grand Cayman Marriott Beach Resort on July 21st will provide AML training specific to the role played by non-executive directors and other directors in the Cayman Islands. This seminar will also feature an online test, after which attendees will receive a formal AML training certificate. The seminar registration fee is 400 CI. To learn more about the speakers and to register, visit ftskcayman.com/events. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
And that is your latest local news. We now turn to the BBC with a check of international news. That's it from me. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego.
BBC News with Gareth Barlow. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said he's instructed the military and police to do what is necessary to restore order after thousands of protesters defied a state of emergency and stormed his office in Colombo. The protesters had earlier overrun the state-owned television channel and briefly taken over the broadcast. The channel is now off air. The president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, has fled to the Maldives. Pope Francis has named 3 women, 2 nuns and a layperson to a previously all-male committee that advises him in selecting bishops. Earlier this month, the Pope said he had wanted to give women more top-level positions in the Holy See. Police in South Africa have arrested 3 people in connection with the deaths of 21 teenagers at an East London nightclub last month. They're accused of selling alcohol to underage children. The victims collapsed while attending a party to celebrate the end of mid-year exams. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a new and second location in Governor's Square. The new Healthcare Pharmacy in Governor's Square is open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
Whether you're fishing, beaching, gardening, or questioning whether to wash your car, Radio Cayman keeps you informed with the latest weather developments. Radio Cayman's weekend weather, morning, day, and night, every Saturday and Sunday. Radio Cayman's weekend weather is proudly brought to you by Mosquito Solutions. Mosquito Solutions. Call 548-0720 for your free residential or commercial quote. Mosquito Solutions. Pest control under control. Call 548-0720.
The Department of Agriculture is hosting a 5-day agro-processing workshop from the 18th to the 22nd of July at Clifton Hunter High School from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The workshop is ideal for farmers seeking to add value to their crops or individuals interested in starting or improving an agro-processing business. Upgrade your skills in good manufacturing practices, principles of agro-processing, and the manufacturing of purees, juices, jams, sauce, and more. Interested agro-producers are invited to apply at doa.gov.ky website. Applications will be screened and only 20 people will be selected. The cost is $150 and participants must be 18 years or older. Terms and conditions apply.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
All right, once again, good morning, Cayman. 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's take a look at your latest weather. It's partly sunny on the outside, 83 degrees, but it feels like 93. Winds are out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Maximum wind gust at 6. Relative humidity, 83%. Barometric pressure now at 30.00 and holding steady. Light to moderate easterly winds and seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a ridge north of the Caribbean. And hazy conditions are expected today as a plume of Saharan dust moves over the western Caribbean. So our forecast calls for partly cloudy skies, 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Then later tonight, mainly fair skies, 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. High tide is coming up in the hour at 8:38. It's going to be low at 3:15 this afternoon. High again at 10:08 tonight. For tomorrow, low tide will be at 4:17 a.m. High at 9:37 a.m. Low at 4:01 p.m. and high at 10:50 p.m. Sunset is at 7:06. Sunrise for Thursday morning at 5:56. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through Friday morning. And that, my friends, is your latest weather right here at Radio Cayman.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? Nope, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, keep it positive. The human brain does not work very well in the negative. If told not to think about pink elephants, most people's brains go straight to a pink elephant. When setting goals, focus on what you're going to do rather than what you are not going to do. For example, instead of saying to yourself not to go on Facebook, say to yourself that you will study more.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Encourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
All right, my friends, once again, good morning to you. 8:15. Hope you left home at a reasonable time to make it into work because traffic, well, let's see how it's going right now. Shamrock Road coming out of the Eastern Districts. Traffic is flowing smoothly as you go past Bodden Town and getting, of course, to the East-West Arterial. And traffic seems to be flowing quite smoothly there as you merged at that roundabout and continuing on your journey. Getting to the Red Bay roundabout, traffic coming out of the Prospect area, moving smoothly. And a little bit of congestion as you get to the Century 21 roundabout, the westward bound lane. Heading to the Eastern Districts, of course, very minimal traffic. Those continuing through South Sound, traffic is moving good. And of course, getting to Miss Lassie's house as you turn onto Walker's Road. Surprisingly, not much traffic as you make your way into the Georgetown area. The Linford Pearson Highway, of course, traffic is moving good. And on Crew Road, Once turning on to Bobby Thompson Way, however, you will meet some congestion there. And getting past the traffic lights, Alder Avenue, bit of traffic there as you continue northward bound. Focusing on the Butterfield roundabouts, we got some congestion in the southbound and northbound lane as you make your way around the roundabout towards Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. Of course, those continuing on to South Church Street, getting to Seafarers Way, there's some traffic along Seafarers Way as well. And be aware of pedestrians as they go on about their day this morning time. Coming out of the West Bay area, of course, traffic moving smoothly. Some stop and goes in some areas at the Esley Tibbetts Highway. Good flow of traffic into the Georgetown area. Of course, all this will abate as the morning continues. Drive safely, look out for pedestrians, those on bicycles, scooters, and motorbikes. Buckle up and stay safe. Your traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
Subway makes it easy for you to stay on top of your health and wellness goals with our Fresh Fit menu options. Choose from 5 Fresh Fit Subway sandwiches with only 450 calories or less per 6-inch sub. Turkey breast, veggie, oven-roasted chicken, black forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or make your 6-inch Fresh Fit sub into a salad or wrap prepared with fresh vegetables. For a full menu and nutritional information, visit subway.ky. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Refilling and transferring your prescriptions have never been this easy. Simply go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and follow the easy directions from your desktop, mobile device, or tablet. All you need to do is pop into Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor to collect your prescription. They're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 till 6 on Sundays and public holidays. No waiting in line, no wasting your lunch hour, no stress. Just easy online prescription refills and transfers from the pharmacy that has been caring about your health for 25 years. Call 947-8900 to speak to a pharmacist or go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and make life easy.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory-breaded, frozen, and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning none other than Dr. Steve McFeel. I just want to remind you that Dr. McFeel will leave us a little bit early, around about, 9:30, Doc?
Or 9:15.
About 9:15, because, he's in court again today as well. Probably having the callers on hold at the moment, no callers. So, Doc, you have in front of you a copy of the Northwestern newspaper. This is July 1979. I'd like to give credit to Miss Sharon Ebanks. Those of you who don't know about Miss Sharon Ebanks, formerly Miss Sharon Brown. I also know that there are several Caymanians who have a collection of the Tradewinds newspaper, and I urge you to share them with your friends, share them with whatever groups that you have, because there's so much in there. We do have a call, but when we return from that call, I'm going to have Dr. McFeel share some of the articles in the Trade Northwestern newspaper of July of 1979. And we're going to start with beach access, Because, folks, that was 1979. We're now in 2022. 40-odd years and still no resolution. We're still talking about it. That, folks, that cannot be progress. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C., and good morning to the doctor there.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I was the first one on this morning for 13 minutes. I didn't get through, so as you know, I threatened you. I made a threat. But, I just can't leave you guys. So I also want to congratulate, I don't know if the doctor like this, but the first Emmanuel to be appointed to that position. I would like to also congratulate her.
Yes, on a personal level, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sticking to the legal side here, this is probably more for the doc. Doc, I often hear you make reference to the Constitution as being the highest law of the land.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then I would say, me personally would think then that the traffic law would be a lot lower law of the land, a local term.
Yes,
for example, if I'm parked on a yellow line, the officer can issue me a ticket and I would have to pay a fine, or an unworthy vehicle, I would pay a fine. So I'm being penalized for bridging that law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, they'll often make all these statistics, how many tickets were being issued and all that kind of thing. Okay, let's get back to the highest law of the land. Where is the penalty for a bridge of the highest law of the land, which I know there are bridges in the Constitution? What happens if an individual bridge the highest law of the land, which you often talk about on the radio, about bridges and the highest law of the land, but there's nobody's being penalized or reprimanded for those bridges. Why? It's the highest law of the land, so why are people are not penalized for that?
Well, it depends on who breaches the highest law of the land. If it's a non-government individual or a non-parliamentary individual, then there are sanctions for that in the law. Then the police can bring actions against you, or it can be civil actions against you. But if it's a breach of the law by an administration or a government or a parliamentarian or whatever, then you're going to have to seek what we call judicial review. We're going to have to go to courts to ask the courts for a remedy, and that's the problem. That's the problem with it. The average person who is affected by the breach does not have the means to do that, and so usually gets away. For instance, the greatest breach of the Constitution so far is Section 119 of the Constitution. 119 of the Constitution. I don't have it right before, but it says that the legislative assembly should pass a law to enact. The legislature, now the Parliament should enact a law for the
creation of advisory district councils.
Advisory district councils shall do that for advisory district councils to advise the members of the elected of the district and in their positions as elected members. Every other part of the Constitution, DPP, Solicitor General, Auditor General, all of those things are in place except the district council. And I just cannot believe that in this modern day that a government or an administration would not do that. They would just walk away. Every administration comes in since 2009 has had some excuse about the district councils. It's because it seems to me that once people get elected, they do. And by the way, They are elected to serve our interests. They are paid good money to serve our interests. They are paid to serve interests. And as I have said on many occasions, law, politics is not a profession, it's a passion. And you have to have a passion to represent the people in which who are paying you to represent their interests. The same as you pay the bank pays a bank manager to represent the interests of a bank. The same way you pay a construction foreman to represent the interests of building your house. It's the same thing. And they refuse to put the advisory council law into effect or to have advisory district council. I just cannot believe in what other modern world, other modern country that would happen and the people would not be uprising about it and be in the streets about it. It is just something that I just cannot believe. And that is why I reserve my interest in the community, because I just cannot believe that all of these years you can just ignore the highest law in the land. It is preposterous. It is awful, and in fact, it's completely illegal and unconstitutional.
So, Doc, you just made a reference that you would say then it would be the electorate that would have to bring the case against those that
Exactly. Yes.
Then
Yes.
What about the legal department of government? Couldn't they not bring?
No, the legal department is part of government.
Yeah, they represent the government.
That is part of government.
So they all need locking up then, legal department too.
Well, there needs to be some remedy. There needs to be some remedy to deal with that, to deal with them also.
What about the office of the ombudsman? Now, in other jurisdictions, you also have what you call political ombudsman, whose remit something like this may fall under.
But the ombudsman here doesn't. Ombudsman, if you look at the law, it doesn't have much teeth in it.
Oh, okay.
It's not like Jamaica and other places where you can take the government to court, you can take the administration to court, you can take them before the high court or the court, whatever. They don't have that same situation here.
That's the direction I was going, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have the Constitutional Commission as well, but they can only advise and make recommendations, and
recommendations, and they can't do anything either.
Yes, and we don't have a public advocate.
No.
Here in the Cayman Islands, public advocate.
See, you and I are the only public advocates here, and we don't have any power to do anything.
So would you say then they're all about the law?
Well, sure. It seems to me that they're out above the law.
Seems to me they're above the law.
Well, yeah. Well, Boris Johnson thought he was above the law too, until when the people got up and said, and his colleagues got up and said, "You're not above the law, and you have to go." That has something that here would have to happen, but I doubt it would happen here.
Oh well, I gotta have to have a meeting with Gilbert, my good friend Gilbert McLean. He's the only one I know that stood up and almost bring the island to a standstill. So
that was a long time ago, though. That was a long time ago.
I gotta take some lessons from him and see what I can do if I can start some sort of semi-little revolution or something like that. That's the direction I'm going now.
Okay, Lord Graham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Later.
Thank you very much for that, folks. We're going to take a commercial break. Paul, any callers on hold? Yes, we do. So we will take those callers as soon as we return from our commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling, Cayman.
JN Money. Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash. Or use a money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank? Yeah. Pay your bills quick? Yeah. Low fees, you know what it? Yeah. JN Money, we are pick? Yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank? Yeah. Pay your bills quick? Yeah. Low fees, you know what it? Yeah. JN Money, we are pick? Yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Experience Capella Music Festival as a VIP Saturday, July 16th on the Festival Green at Camana Bay with music legend Michael Bolton, Barris Hammond, Maxi Priest, Wyclef Jean, and Charlie XCX. VIP and premium VIP experiences available. For package info and ticket purchases, visit CapellaMusicFestival.com. Brought to you by Camana Bay, Cayman Islands Department of Tourism, Corona, Cayman Airways, Coca-Cola.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McPhail. Let's go to the phone lines, caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. You're not doing any riding anymore, or what?
Oh, yes. I rode yesterday morning, 4 o'clock. I was out on the bike yesterday.
Okay. You're still young then. Okay.
Thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good to hear you, sir. Been a long I was worried about you. I thought that the government had put you down, but...
nobody puts me down, my friend. Nobody puts me down. I walk to the tune of my own drums. Nobody puts me down. My shoulders are not bent for anybody, and nobody puts me down. I'm not. I don't get discouraged so easy. I don't get put down so easy.
Yes, sir. I know that. Doc, I asked Sterling a question yesterday, and for years I've been trying to get an answer, a right answer, because I know a few years ago when a good friend was in government, Graham called his name just now, I know he said that the government had one. Why don't we have a fingerprint machine in the Cayman Islands? Can you answer me the reason why? Because every other country and island that I go to, they have it. Why don't we have it here?
They have fingerprinting machines in Cayman. The police have them, and they have them. And I think if you get in trouble and you go to the police station, you get charged. That's the first thing they do. Take your photograph and your fingerprints.
I know that part, but I'm talking about at the airport and at the port.
Well, I think that is an immigration problem, and I think that is I don't know. Under Section 16, it says that the government can say how you enter. The government has decided not to have that there. That is their decision. I don't see where that is so crucial in today's world to have that. And really, I think there may be some problems with people's basic rights to be able to take their fingerprints and keep it for general purposes, and I think personally I think that would cause a problem.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, when you have to, if you're talking about creating a database,
yes,
then
yes.
You would want to do that.
Mm-hmm, yes.
But otherwise, if you're going to have a fingerprinting system and you thinking in terms of foreigners who enter the Cayman Islands, if you're going to fingerprint someone coming in, you have to have something to match that against.
That's right.
So if you don't have that database already, it doesn't serve any purpose.
That's right.
If you're talking about fingerprinting for the purpose of establishing a database so that the second time when I enter the Cayman Islands, you can tell whether or not it is me based on my fingerprints because you already have that in there. Then that's another question.
And then there's a problem if you suspect that I am or the person who's coming in is not kosher. That they might be suspected of things, then you need to have networking with other countries to be able to send their fingerprints there to see whether or not that person you get what they call a hit.
Yes, caller.
So yeah, I want to. So you don't think by fingerprinting people that come in the country would eliminate a lot of criminals that is here?
Or tell us how it would. How would it eliminate them just simply by fingerprinting them? How?
At least we would know who they are, sir. Why? So why does other?
You would know who they are the second time around, but the first time, like we said, unless you have something to compare that by on first entry into the Cayman Islands, it doesn't help.
Yes.
You have to create a database first, or have reference to an existing database with criminal records and fingerprints of criminals
from other
on
countries.
there. Yes.
Well, they say he's never too old to learn, so I didn't know because other countries, the minute you go in the first time or not, I know that they fingerprint you.
Yeah, because they're establishing a database or they have one.
They have one.
So, and we can't get a database here. Too small, right?
No, we can if we want to. Whether or not that is the political will to do that. We have always, one of the reasons that we hear saying we don't, we're a tourist destination and we don't want to really do things that will deter tourists from coming. Now, some person's response to that is, hey, we go to the U.S. as tourists and we do it and we feel no way. As a matter of fact, if you have nothing to hide, then no problem whatsoever. But then you also have to look at how many cases do we have in the Cayman Islands? These isolated cases that we have, do they really warrant having to establish a database for that purpose? Especially if they're not coming in through legal and normal channels.
Especially if they're coming as what Mr. For the Record means, especially if they come in at night through and canoes and speedboats and so forth.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller, for that. Paul, any other callers on hold? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Osin. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good. I'm not going to say too much this morning. I just need to get Doc's information so I can give him a call. And it's business-wise, so...
Okay. You have the WhatsApp number 925-3261. If you can send the message there, and we will send the phone number back to you via that rather than announcing it on radio.
Sure. No, I wouldn't want him to do that if he felt okay with it. But yeah, thanks. I'll message you on that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you much.
Okay. So, Doc, Trade Wind, I keep saying Trade Winds newspaper. I'm hooked on that. Northwestern newspaper.
Yes.
In 1979, July of 1979, what did it have to say about beach access in the Cayman Islands?
Well, there's an article here written by John P. Parker, and it's about the headlines is saying every visitor knows of the glories of the 7 Mile Beach, but there's a guide to the other beaches of Cayman. That is the theme of the article. But there's that's an excerpt here in the article. Would you allow me to read it?
Sure, yes.
About the right-of-way problems understudied by the government. It says right-of-way problems understudied by government, and it goes on to say the public does not have legal access to private beaches except by using a designated right-of-way. And once on a beach, said Planning Director Dennis Robinson, the only area open to the public is that between high and low water marks, which is Crown property. Crown property also extends beyond the low water mark to include area above and below the water. So technically, the public has legal access to a defined area of beach from the sea as well. Presently, no development on 7 Mile Beach may be done on less than 200 feet of frontage, and all new development must have a provision for a public right-of-way to the beach, Mr. Robinson said. Usually, these are at the borders of particular plots, and while they may not be marked, they are still there for public use. Older developments on 7 Mile Beach may not have a designated public right-of-way, and public access points are few and far between in other parts of the island. However, the Planning Department in June completed an up-to-date list of the island's right-of-way and also noted those sites which had been traditionally used as right-of-way over the years, such as by fishermen launching boats. The list will enable government to study the problem of where to establish needed access points for the public. Though this matter has not scheduled for the public meeting of the Legislative Assembly, Mr. Robinson suggested that changes could include more rights-of-ways, both for general public use and legalizing some of the traditional boat launching sites for fishermen and other boaters. Another improvement, he said, would be to widen right-of-ways in certain other areas to facilitate boat launching and thus car parking. So this was 40 years ago. There was a list of the right-of-ways around the island, and 40 years ago there's another list around the islands of right-of-ways, and nothing has been done to protect the public.
I wonder if those persons who are now pursuing this, whether or not they had access to that list that was compiled in 1979, and how much. Now, was there some indication in that article as well that the legislature would be dealing with something? Because I'm thinking now that to go to the archives of the Legislative Assembly to see what was debated as far as this was concerned, and because we know that it was not long after that this whole thing, issue about the high water mark and the low water mark and changing, talking about the vegetation and everything else, that was changed. And we know those legislators who were in the Legislative Assembly at that point in time, and we have heard rumors, more than just rumors, about whose interest it was in changing that high water mark to benefit their ownership of property on the 7 Mile Beach area. I hope and I trust that some of those persons who are in that committee are listening in. I know that Billy Samamba has been involved in it, and also we know that Mr. Billy Adam has been involved in it as well. It would be interesting to hear from someone from there to enlighten us a little bit more on this based on what was in that article. If we don't hear from them, what we're going to do, take a commercial break. I know that there's some other stuff that you want to share as well in there about the ownership, water sports, and how many Caymanians were involved in water sports at that point in time. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Esports in the Cayman Islands just got a major upgrade. That's right, NetGeeks Media is proud to present Gamers Bay 6. This is July 30th to 31st, 2022.
Compete head-to-head for over $10,000 on the PlayStation 5 in titles such as Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and FIFA 2022, utilizing our new gaming monitors.
Additional competitive titles include Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch, as well as Naruto Storm 4 for the PS4.
Oh, and did we mention keyboard and mouse can now also be used?
Back and better than ever. It's all going down July 30th to 31st, 2022 at the John Gray Gymnasium.
Meet international YouTube influencers Windy Girk and Beck Brojack. Let the world see the power of Cayman's competitors.
Visit GamersBayCayman.com to purchase spectator tickets, view schedules and times, purchase competitors' passes, as well as view the rules of each tournament.
Proudly sponsored by
Pepsi, Enterprise Cayman, Department of Tourism, C3 Pure Fiber, Radio Cayman, K Gadgets, Youth Services Unit, Office Supply, Cellular Cayman, Dolphin Discovery, The Matrix, and the Department of Education.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Dr. Steve McField. We do have a caller on hold. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, ma'am. Good to hear your voice.
Good morning. How are you both?
We're fine. We're great. Yes.
Great. Just a little snippet to interject. I only caught a few minutes so far of what you've been talking about, Constitution and taking cases to court and rights away, etc. Hopefully someone else will call in who will be able to say a lot more. It's Alice May, as everybody knows.
Yes.
You remember we four ladies were called everything else except doing what's right. Went to court, took our case to court, and nothing happened about that because the judge took the easy way out, seems, and instead of allowing the merits of our case for the West Bay Road to be argued, they went the easy way and said, we were out of time. Of course, we were not out of time, but that was convenient at that time for the beach accesses, and we fought historically as best we could. And you've just mentioned about a list from 1979. I don't recall us ever having seen or heard about that particular list. We, of course, had the 2003 beach access report, which showed a lot of the accesses. And then we had, in 2001, filed close to 500 affidavits to do with the accesses in West Bay alone, in West Bay and the beach, etc., and the areas of the island. So we had information that we've gathered. but all to no avail.
Caller, if I could interrupt you for a second. Do you want Dr. Macfield to repeat what someone by the name of Robinson, I guess he would have been the director of lands planning,
yes.
Director at that point in time, what he said about this list, or you had heard it earlier?
I caught a little bit of that.
Let me have him repeat that for you.
Okay.
Yes, there's the article, and it goes on to say, however, the planning department in June completed an up-to-date list.
And this is 1979, June
yes,
79.
in 1979. This was in July 1979. And it says, however, the planning department, in June, that would be the month before this article was written, completed an up-to-date list of the island's rights-of-way and also noted those sites which have been traditionally used as rights-of-way over the years, such as the fishermen launching boats, and the list will enable government to study the problem of where to establish needed access points to the public beach.
So that list exists somewhere.
That list existed somewhere.
Government keeps all the paperwork?
Yes.
Yes, that would be interesting if that could be unearthed. That would be interesting, and to see how it ties in with what.
And then it goes on to say, though the matter was not scheduled for the June meeting of the Legislative Assembly, Mr. Robinson suggested that changes could include more right-of-way, both for general public use and legalizing some of the traditional boat launching sites for fishermen and other boaters. And then he says another improvement, he added, would be to widen right-of-ways in certain other areas to facilitate boat launching and thus car parking. So what you people are doing now has been done before, 40 odd years ago, and nothing has happened about it. And bearing in mind, Mr. Cole, that the problem that you have is an indefeasible right that you have that was enacted first in 1882 under the prescriptive law that says if you're using the beach for fishing, for bathing, for picnic, and for any ancillary matters thereto, for 20 years, you have an indefeasible right to use it and also the access to it. And I just do not understand what is the problem that a government cannot go and register those right-of-ways to the Caymanian people. It seems to me that a legislator who has the interests of the Caymanian people at heart and who respect the Caymanian people's rights, it would only take a day in the Legislative Assembly to have those legalized and to send those to the Registrar of Lands to have them listed. I just do not understand why is the problem taken from 1882 to now to get that done. It just doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like someone has an interest that is preventing these things to be from happening.
Ms. Go?
Yes, you are quite right. And it's not that we didn't try, and we were aware of this indefeasible. We fought, and we continue, of course. There's certain things still going on to get our people's rights. But when we seek assistance, like for instance, the getting legal aid, we were told, oh, no, rights away, that's not in the public interest. But notwithstanding that, it was us four ladies, and we had supporters, etc., but we took this to court. We spent our own money. We got very, very limited amount of legal aid. We had a bit of support, financial support, but very limited. The bulk of that was out of our own pockets. Not because we were getting any personal gain and benefit. It was just standing up for what was right and seeking to have our indefeasible rights registered, recognized, and there for until the end of time. But no, whatever reason there is that prevents the public's rights from being, recognized, your guess is as good as mine why these things don't happen. And unfortunately, we think it's more than a guess why it's not done. It's not for the public interest, but it's for somebody's interest why we are deprived of this. But notwithstanding that, we have fought. It's 2001, that's a long time. It's 20 plus years since we lodged those affidavits. Wow. And we, our group at that time, the Concerned Citizens Group, is what started this.
And there seemed to be, but there were affidavits before you, back in 1979.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem, ma'am, is this: we are subsidizing millionaires who do not care about our rights, and that is okay. What more right does Caymanians have than an indefeasible right to use the beach that has been enacted since 1882? I do not understand how any court or any judge could say that's not in the public interest.
Yeah, well, they said we were out of time, and that was convenient because other interests were more important than the public's interest.
Well, then, if you were out of time by the courts, then the legislature should have gone and passed a law.
Yeah.
Yes, and courts have discretion, don't they?
Sure they do. Sure they do.
Yes.
If it's a procedural point, they have a discretion. The court has a overall discretion to extend their time.
Exactly, and I mean, we did all we could, and we have fought, and I will modestly say valiantly, with support. But what else could we have done but what we did?
Well,
the Constitution is there. But the Constitution is only followed when it suits certain persons, interests. And when laws were specifically changed to allow all of these things to happen that are continuing to happen, it is sad. It's unfortunate. But
well, ma'am, our government now has creating assistance to for Caymanian families just to give them the wherewithal to eat, to survive and to have a shelter. And I tell you one thing. History repeats itself. And history repeats itself not only one place, but in other places. And I was just looking at the news, what happened in Sri Lanka, and I know that that it's not going to be long hair before that happens in Cayman. If you cannot keep destroying people's rights and disrespecting people and keeping them down forever. Someday they are going to say enough is enough is enough.
Yep. Caller, I want to thank you very much for that. I'm looking at the archives here, and I see in the Legislative Assembly, I see where the development and planning regulations were dealt with in the House in 1979, the 6th of September, 1979.
This would be after this article was written.
Yeah. And the Development and Planning Amendment Law 1981 was dealt with on the 19th of February 1981. And then we had something in 1983 and 1984. I'm going to do some research, on those. Look at the Hansards and see whether or not anything in this area was discussed then. We have to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Before Dr. McField leaves, I want him to share another article in the Northwestern newspaper, and it has to do about government establishing, the legislature establishing a committee. You can constantly talk about the establishment of committees and about private members' motions and stuff like that. Let's show these people what was done in 1979. We are now in 2021, and we can't achieve anything near what our legislators were doing back in those days. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Public Health reports 3 new cases of COVID-19 in the Sister Islands. There are 855 estimated cases of COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands. 7 people are in the hospital with COVID-19. The 7-day rolling average for July 12th is 63. In international news, Japanese police said Wednesday they have found what they believe are several bullet marks on a building near the site of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's assassination last week in western Japan, apparently from the first shot fired from a suspect's powerful homemade gun that nearly missed Abe. Abe, the country's longest-serving prime minister who remained influential even after stepping down 2 years ago for health reasons, was gunned down Friday during a campaign speech near a crowded train station in Nara. Millions of Shanghai residents braved sweltering heat Tuesday to wait in line for compulsory COVID tests as growing case numbers and the emergence of a highly infectious Omicron subvariant spurred new fears of a return to mass lockdown. Shanghai authorities have ordered the majority of the city's 16 districts to undergo 2 rounds of testing after a case of the new BA.521 subvariant was detected in the community on July 8th. And U.S. inflation likely reached a new 40-year high in June, driven by a spike in gas costs, more expensive food and rent, and pricier cars and hotel rooms. A government report Wednesday is expected to show that consumer prices soared 8.8% in June, compared with a year earlier, according to Data Provide fact sheet. Those are your latest headlines. I'm Shana Gallego.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Ray, are we ready for the next You Are Saying?
Yep, this time the topic is Duppies.
Duppies.
Yep, that's ghost to you tourists.
What's your Duppies?
I never believed them, but I have a Duppy story. So if you tune in, you can hear my story and you can call in and tell me your Duppy stories, because we know there's people out there that got Duppy stories that afraid to talk about it. So call in and tell us your Duppy story.
Duppies on the next You Are Saying.
Next You Are Saying. Boy, stop touching me. I'm real. I just clear skin like this. I know I need to get some sun.
You look like a Duppy. So Friday the 15th.
Friday the 15th, join us for Siwa Saying Duppies.
Siwa Saying is a special feature of Talk Today with contributions from the National Museum, a language, history, and culture show on Radio Cayman 89.9 and 93.9 FM.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve Macfield. He's going to have to leave us at about 9:15. Talking about committees, Doc. Select committees of Legislative Assembly, now Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
When there are issues that public feedback is not required, but they feel that they need to have public feedback on particular issues. We have seen previous legislatures establish select committee. Usually they're select committees of the whole House. I remember when the whole issue of immigration in 1997, it was a select committee of the whole House that was established to hear people's concerns and to then craft legislation in relation to immigration legislation. We rarely see it now. Is it because the legislators feel that we know it all, we don't need to hear?
Yeah,
we don't need to hear from you.
It seems to me.
But share with our audience in 1979.
Well,
again,
this was a select committee in relation to charges by CUC.
Mm-hmm.
And it says a select committee of 7 members was appointed on a government motion to inquire into the recently announced 15% rise in rates charged by Caribbean Utilities Company Limited, holder of the franchise for Grand Cayman Power Supply. The increase was illegal, claim EXCO members, because it was made unilaterally by the company before conclusion of negotiations with government aimed at establishing what was a fair and reasonable increase. The terms of the government motion called for the committee to go into all aspects of the matter and to ensure that the interests of the public were protected. The committee will have power to summon witnesses and require them to produce documents. Debate of the motion included lengthy speeches from EXCO members, but only 2 brief contributions from the other side of the House. Captain Keith Tibbetts, as the director of CUC, said he was in no position to say what had transpired. However, he had also been a member of the Legislative Assembly, which had been so severely criticized by present EXCO members for using the franchise 12 years ago. He doubted that these members understood what government had been going through at the time, and he said when even the £50 annual license fee was considered a good sum. So this select committee was there to examine the costs of the increase in the rates by CUC.
Mm-hmm. While they were still negotiating with government.
Now, the government doesn't have a select committee. They're not thinking about a select committee. What the government is doing now is giving $150 for people to help with their rebate against their bill. And I wonder if that is going to $150. How is that going to help? Uh-huh. And the problem that I have is that there needs to be a select committee now.
Well, our legislators are paid handsomely.
Yes.
Paid handsomely for, I'm not going to say for what they do, for the position that they hold. Mm-hmm. How many times per year do they meet? How many new bills have been brought forward so far?
Yes.
Yes, we're giving people money to help with their electricity bills and everything.
Yes.
But wouldn't it also help to have a select committee to look into the reasons why all of these things happen? That will give the people more confidence, because they will feel not only that we're willing to hear from you, we're willing to listen to you, because they're not listening to the advisory district councils, because those are not in place.
And I noticed I was reading just last night in the news on the news and the British on the BBC, mm-hmm. that the government of Panama has capped the cost of a gallon of fuel mm-hmm. to $3.75 a gallon. Mm-hmm. The government has gone and say you cannot raise it above that amount, and you have to do that until we examine the matter to see whether or not people can afford to pay more. And some people are even saying now that even is $3.75 in Panama is still high. I don't see anything like that happening here. Mm-hmm. I see there's a runaway pricing here. There's a runaway pricing here, and people just saying, "Oh well, it's because of the war in Ukraine and the high cost of fuel, so forth." But shouldn't the government have a sort of select committee to examine all of these things?
I mean, the people would at least feel a little bit more confident saying, well, at least they're trying something. They're listening to us. They want to hear from us, the problems that we're encountering.
But in 1979, legislators were doing that.
Yes.
They were doing that. And then the other thing I want to touch on before I go.
Sure. Yeah, we have about 5 minutes, so go right ahead.
Before I go,
I know you want to talk about the ownership of
I want to talk about
sports?
The water sports.
Yes.
This really makes my day. Mm-hmm. This is the time when I was happiest in Cayman, mm-hmm. and I remember when the Caymanians own everything, and especially in the water sports. There are articles here about the people in the water sports. There's Captain Larry Ebanks, Byron Barnett. There's also an article here about Universal Charters Limited was owned by the late Edna Chisholm and Denise Anderson. And there's an article here about David Ebanks, who ran a business called Black Bear Tours. David Ebanks was the part owner of Black Bear Tours, and Captain Armand Dilbert was the captain vessel. And there's a great picture here that their family probably should get a copy of. Shows David Ebanks at the wheel, and Armand Dilbert and the captain together with the crew of the Queen Anne's Revenge, operated by Black Bears Fun Tours.
And I believe that there's a page in there that lists all of the water sports.
There's a place in here which
well.
Sea Sports, Emil Ebanks, Bob Soto, Surfside, Sports by Dick Dixon, Quabbin Divers by Artley Evans and Patrick Evans. And there's a great picture here of Artley, the leader of Quabbin Divers. There's a picture here of Crosby Ebanks, Captain Weston Ebanks, Marvin Ebanks, Vernal Ebanks, Crosby Ebanks, Vernal Ebanks, Frank Ebanks, Don and Gary Foster, Captain Otis Ebanks, Harold Powell, and Willard Borden, Fishing Tours. I think he's farmed to Norman Borden.
Foxy. Yes.
Adrian Briggs, Ron Ebanks, Katie on Ebanks. And it was so delightful to see this article, to see that when Caymanians were in charge, when Caymanians were recognized to be Caymanians. This was over 40 years ago.
That's when Caymanians owned the pie.
When Caymanians owned the pie.
We may have a little slice, but not much.
Caymanians owned the pie. And it's so great to see all these photographs of all these great people here and the boats that they captain, and Captain Otis Ebanks and Vornell Ebanks and all of those great captains here, Adrian Briggs and Irwin Borden and all of those people here, and it's so great to see all of these people. This brings my day, but of course it's on a nostalgia because they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. When reality hits home, then it brings you back down to earth. Right?
When reality it brings you back down to earth.
Okay,
yes.
Doc, we're going to try to grab one more caller before you leave us. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning.
Hey, good morning, my friend. Good morning.
And good morning to the Dr. Steve.
Good morning.
Yes. Dr. Steve and OC. I think it was the last radio show OC had, where everybody wanted to crucify Minister Kenneth Bryan for his wife owning a real estate agent or company.
Well, I don't think they were criticizing for her ownership, but it had to do with the fact that he was promoting it, and that would be contrary to the ministerial code of conduct.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, but listen, just the president, Speaker of the House right now, he had a real estate company that was his wife's name.
Yeah, but two wrongs don't make a right.
Listen. He sold millions of dollars worth of condos and properties that his wife owned the company, but he was the one that benefited most from it. So when they try to crucify Kenneth for his wife having a little or doing a little art for his wife thing, that is rubbish. This politician need to get up or get out.
Well, in those days they didn't have any legislation in place.
Yes. Not to say that condones it.
Yes.
Right. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, see, it's really ridiculous what's going on with the Cayman Island government. The way how they try to put down their own Caymanians, trying to get somewhere. Right now, I ask just about every one of them, what's the position with the police station? And not one of them, little old butt brain politicians.
But sir,
I gotta say butt brain because if all of butt brain would think like how they think. They think for themselves and the people that they're surrounded by. They do think about the average man on the street. The only time they think about us or the people is when they want a vote to get back in there. But God have mercy on this Cayman Islands, because you see the next election, I mightn't be running, but I'll tell you the truth, I'm going to be influential in the people that voting for these bunch of butt brain people that we have outside there. I got to say butt brain because they're not there for the Caymanian people. And I'm sick and tired of people getting on the radio trying to promote them. Because they don't mean me no good, they might mean you no good, see. Because the way how you have addressed this whole situation by being on the radio, I think we need about another 5 more people like you, and we should have a topic about the Cayman Islands every day on the radio, Cayman. With all this rubbish and things that they trying to bring down the Cayman people or try to show the Cayman people they're trying to help them. All of a sudden, when they help them and they get in some position to do something, they automatically shut out because they don't want nobody to get on a great between that they on. But this next election, God save my life, I'm going to do everything that I can do to promote people on a brand new scale to get inside there. The people that will do or help the Caymanian people. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much, caller. Doc, we're going to go to a break, but I want to give you an opportunity just for some closing comments.
Well, I would just like to make some closing comments about this. The last caller, he has a problem with his business and the property next door. He keeps saying that he spoke to this one and he spoke to the other one and this one and whatnot. He's got no results. We advise him what to do. I have not heard him yet say that he has sent a proposal to the government or to the ministry or whoever's in charge with his proposal of what he wants to do with the property and how much he wants to purchase it for and whether or not they intend to sell. Unless he put it in writing. And you know the late Harry McCoy, who was the quintessential civil servant, and Mr. Desmond Watler. When I've joined the civil service as a clerk of the courts and was taking getting my course as to what was required, they always says, if you call me and you say that I said this, I will deny that you speak to me, and I can deny you speak to me.
If it's not in writing.
If it's not in writing, I didn't say so.
Your word against mine.
My word against mine. So that caller, he has a big problem with probably doing business on the telephone with people and by word of mouth. He ought to put it in writing and have a record so that he can show that the government actually said no or they said yes.
Yes.
That's what I like to say to him.
Thank you very much, Doc. May be calling on you again for Friday.
Thank you very much. I hope Friday I'll be here for the balance of your show.
Okay, excellent. We do have a caller on hold. Quick commercial break. When we return, we will take that caller, so folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
I will stay for that.
JN Money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN Money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Stay clean, stay safe, hey man. Reflections sells gallons of sanitizer for only $25. Buy 2 clip-on sanitizers for just $5. Reflections has the best KN95 masks or reusable cloth masks, and you can get 2 for only $5. Blue surgical masks and face shields are available for children and adults, as well as 10 and 50 packs of black surgical masks. Volume discounts available at Reflections. Jose's Rubus, Reflections Hemp and Tobacco, all 5 Liquor for Less locations, and Food for Less open 24 hours every day. Don't miss the Liquor for Less incredible priced better markdown. Hundreds of fine from $2.99. Cases of ice cold below wholesale prices. Save $10 off liters of absolute exclusively at Liquor for Less. Prices so low we can't say them on the radio. Ransomware, DDoS, malware, phishing. If you don't know what those mean, you're not alone. But if you aren't protected against those cybersecurity attacks, then your business is at risk. Don't leave your data or your business vulnerable. Get Digicel Business Protect. Simpler, smarter cybersecurity. Visit our website, www.digicelbusiness.com, to request a callback or call us now on 623-2499.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have two callers on hold, so let's grab the first caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Extremely thankful, man. And you?
I'm great, thanks. What do you have to say?
Coming at it, man. James Sterling Bank the third, better known as Jimmy.
Okay.
Speaking of tourism. There's nobody in the Cayman Islands that know anything more about the tourism business than James Sterling Bank the third, better known as Jimmy. We, the E-Bankses from West Bay, started this North-Sound thing. Pure E-Bank.
That's right.
Now, if anybody else out there can condemn me, just come and shout it out, man. Let me know so I can prove it to you how worthless you are. Thinking that we're going to just sit down, stand up, and make you people just destroy our country. Look at the North Sound, and I know nothing about it. Now, I worked with every one of them at that time. Otis, Marvin, Gleason, Crosby, Frank, Solomon, Garland, Weston, you just name it, and it was E-Banks that took their own good time, rode from West Bay in the afternoon as far up as Winter Haven, rode it to the bicycle. Oh, see, we used to ride too. Rode it, started at Winter Haven, working our way back down, checking every place that a tourist used to tuck in to get a little thing for tomorrow or the next day. We kept that North Sound so clean and pretty. To me these days here now, OC, I got to get some position up in there too. I try to show them something, and I challenge them already. Get a boat big enough and let's go on a tour. I take on a tour. That didn't work. But I got to get myself a position, and I'm going to wait them. And then that's where you're going to hear about the North Sound and the tourism business. I've been bartender for a couple of months, Beach Club. I've been a taxi driver. Trust me, man. I used to work, building condos and all that kind of thing. I work with all them people. Them days it wasn't hard to get a job. You ride from West Bay to Georgetown, they see you cross it. Well, you want a job? All you got to do is say, not about your application that goes underneath the slips under the door. No. Online. No, we didn't even know line. We made contact ourselves because we were working. We developed this island and we had it to the maximum of tourism likeness. We made it that. We made them friends. We slept with them. We took them. Oh, man, I got to get me a book written about me. See how many people know about me.
Okay. Jimmy? Go ahead.
I come into you and me. You're going to be the last two in this thing here. Just a couple seconds, man. Okay. And speaking of working with the government and stuff like that, when the airport was building up, you had two places that you get a quarry, up at Spots and Halfway Pond. Jimmy used to work at all two of them quarries. Nobody know about that.
Wow, yeah.
Why you know about that? You know where they used to keep the gravel for the building the airport? Somewhere around the way where Coke Motors is around the corner, you know? That area? Man, you didn't want to tell me what I done. I know what I done. I worked with Hodge Ford driving them trucks to deliver them people to work and all that kind of thing. Are you having fun working? You know, trust me. I never had a dull minute in my life. I got to keep it that way, too.
Okay. Jimmy, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great...
This you and me, just a second.
Okay, very quickly, because I have other people on hold.
Cayman. If this is Cayman Radio, we need to find out who owns it. And this is you and me. I told you this about twice already. I didn't want to say it over the radio, but it doesn't make any difference, really. We, as Caymanians, have to have our say. Not 8 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the day, and so forth like that. We need to have our show that we can get our breath cleared up by saying what we got to say, and that's the only how Cayman going to change back to what it was. Mm-hmm. And we can do it, but that's the only how. So get us more time. If TV advertisement, that is the most dangerous thing it is in Cayman. It's a bunch of junk. Depriving us of our time. You see, people talk about the bird breed, that's what I call them. That's all they is, my bird breed. They think they're smart. They're just as stupid as what's a bird they fly back on.
Jimmy, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Have a great day. Let's see if we can grab another caller before we go to our next commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I am very grateful. And good morning, Dr. Steve.
He has left us.
Sorry?
Dr. Steve has left. He had to leave for court.
Okay. Well, anyway, someone wrote me a message and asked me to call you and Dr. Steve, and I am quoting now from what was written to me.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to know if you could tell them which South American country has done a total makeover of their constitution, a modernization that includes lots of women's rights and IT, etc.
Which South American country that is?
They're asking if you could say which one.
Okay, I'd have to do some research on that. I know, for instance, Colombia just had a female vice president, and she's not only female, but she's also black. I'm not sure what they have done with their constitution recently. Guyana hasn't done much with their constitution, but I'll do some research on it and see what I can find in relation to it. But if you could forward the question to me, I would appreciate that. That will help me, to be able to focus more on it as well.
Okay, actually, they were asking me what is the WhatsApp number to send the messages into, so perhaps if you could call out that number.
925-3261.
Say it again.
925-3261.
Okay, thanks. But I'll forward the message.
Okay, excellent.
Right.
Thank you very much for that. Paul, we're going to take a commercial break. We still have other callers on hold, I believe. So please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vant Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
JN money touchdown. Send the money now. Reach wow. You say you need some money. JN money, I can send it in a hurry. Get through quick when you come collect your cash, or use your money card and swipe it in a flash. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN money, we are pick, yeah. Send and receive funds at any JN Money location. It's fast, affordable, and convenient. Money touchdown with JN Money. Send funds to any bank, yeah. Pay your bills quick, yeah. Low fees, you know what it, yeah. JN Money, we are pick, yeah.
Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at JN Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
It's Kirk Freeport's 50th anniversary, and we're celebrating with you.
If it's your 50th birthday in 2022, we have a $50 gift card for you. If you're celebrating your 50th wedding anniversary or higher, it's $500. We'll also donate $50,000 to charities and increase the rewards for store purchases too. Purchases of $500 will receive branded gifts, while purchases of $100 gain entry into our monthly sweepstakes with prizes from luxury brands. View terms and conditions on kirkfreeport.com.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Did you know that you must discard fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, foods in canisters, dented, leaking, or rusting cans after they have come in contact with floodwater? For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Dr. Steve McFeel has left us. We do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my dear. How art thou?
Well, I had a million things to say, but that last...
Okay, we'll give you $500,000.
No. Mr. Bracker took care of all of that. And he didn't mention anything as to any subject matter that I had in mind. But his passion and his clear, very clear dissatisfaction with people that we employ, whom we employ. Let me get a little more correct in that, because they'll be criticizing me like I care. Whom we employ for the position of to be on guard for thee, for the Cayman Islands, and they simply ignore us. But Sri Lanka, what is it?
Sri Lanka?
2022. 2022, yeah. No drop blood spilled, little property damage, but we're not killing nobody for that. No hanging for that.
I see where the president has left on a military jet.
What a slick move that is, But anyhow, we good with it. We can't know every what you call it, underhanded method that they would use. But anyway, I just would like to chime in on the conversation vis-a-vis the water sports industry in 1979. Well, I'm proud to say I used to, round about these dates, I was working in the water sports industry, doing bookings, helping to run the shops. We call them dive shops, water sports shops, etc.
Wow.
And one thing I wanted to bring up about that time in particular is that the proliferation of water sports accidents, and not just accidents, but serious life-taking accidents, they existed, but it was one every year. And this was a time when, these gentlemen who owned these businesses were serious. These people had to fill out forms to get on a trip. To go to dive, they had to bring information and to say that yes, I have these qualifications. Or you would be on a dive boat, but you would be snorkeling, and they paid enough people to be on these dive boats as staff to be able to take care of the persons while they were in the water, et cetera. So, I am proud of what we had in place in those days, because it seems like ever full and change nowadays when everything is so easy. You've got all that history behind you. You have so much modern equipment and so many modern rules and regulations, and still we are losing people so often in the water. And I wonder what was different then than now. But
that's my spiel for the day.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for those expressions as well. Any other callers on hold at this point in time? No callers. So, folks, here's another story I'm going to share with you because I'm dealing with the Northwestern newspaper magazine, and some of you may remember that the Northwestern was available on all of the Cayman Airways flights. If you were off island for quite a while and you're coming back, you look forward to reading the Northwestern newspaper, as well. You have heard Dr. McFeel on other occasions talk about the fact that, about Mr. Jim Borden and some of his escapades and everything else. I should say the Honorable Jim Borden. And there was this story about him dumping marl at the CUC manager's yard, blocking him from getting out of his driveway because of some issue he had with him. And unlike the fact that we still don't have a public admission as to who set the Kawich down at the Legislative Assembly, and maybe some point in time, I guess they're still waiting for the statute of limitations to expire. And in terms of that, we will get someone who will admit having set the Kawich in the Legislative Assembly. But Mr. Jim Borden in 1979 admitted that he dumped marl at CUC man's house. And here's the article. It says that addressing a public meeting in Borden Town 3 days before the Legislative Assembly opened, EXCO member Jim Borden confirmed that it was he who had 2 truckloads of marl dumped in the driveway of the manager of Caribbean Utilities Company Limited after the power company had cut off his supply to his home for non-payment of his account. He's quoted as saying, "I would have done the same even if the Queen had been there," he added. The incident, which occurred about 2 years ago, was referred to in an editorial in the June issue of the Northwestern. It's quoted as saying, "I was perhaps one of the richest men in the island at one time," Mr. Borden said, "but sometimes you find it hard to get the money to meet the bills. The bill for all of my businesses was some $6,000, and though I scraped and paid it all except the little bit for my home, and although CUC at the time had $10,000 in escrow for me, the manager told an employee to disconnect my home without warning me. The manager had a house on one of my estates, and I dumped 2 loads of marl in his driveway. I was dumping it on my own property." Mr. Borden also confirmed that it was he who had also ordered the Northwestern to be taken off Cayman Airways flights. It was costing us $500 each month, and I said we could not afford it. I didn't see why we should pay to send that rubbish abroad for people to read when they say, to read what they say about us. On the allegation that the former administration had subsidized the Cayman Islands holiday guide, Mr. Borden said it was a subsidy regardless of what they say. I should have been chairman of the committee instead of Truman Borden. He attacked the Northwestern newspaper, the publisher Desmond Seals, for having come through the back door, and still all Caymanians knew very well what kind of people come through the back door. He further attacked, a further attack on Mr. Seals was made by the other Bordentown member, Haig Borden, who gave his version of the proposal for the use of Cayman Victory on charter flights for Cuban Americans between Cayman and Miami, rejecting the idea that flights into Cayman by Air Cubana would be no different from the present visits by the Kazakhstan. He said the last government gave permission for the Russian cruise liner to call, and we cannot change it now. Position improved. He said Mr. Haig-Bodden reminded his audience that in 2.5 years, the government had moved from a $1 million deficit to being able to put $750,000 away in reserve for a rainy day. He credited this performance to the scrapping of the proposed development plan as promised in the 1976 election campaign. He praised the Cayman Energy Agreement as another contributing factor to the present economic boom and said the previous government had sat on the proposal for 3 years because they did not have the people's interest at heart. He assured the people that Cayman Airways was operating profitably and was only in debt $1.5 million plus the $3.6 million cost of Cayman Victory. Mr. Haig-Bodden also lashed out at the scribes who continue to write critical letters in the press, twisting and distorting the facts. This, he said, was because a little girl got her cookies broken in 1972. So there we had it, Mr. Desmond Seals, the publisher of the Northwestern newspaper, and this obviously was campaign time as well. I believe we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. It's me again.
Good morning again.
You know, listening to the gentleman from Cayman Brac that I know very well and worked with him before in the tourism industry. He mentioned something about the speaker with his business or his wife's business. But if memory serves me correct, in defense of the speaker, I have never heard him, me personally, I have never heard him promote that business.
I agree with you.
So the two is two different balls bouncing. Yeah, it might be his company, but it's in his wife's name. But he's never ever promoted it the way that the Minister of Tourism has done. So you can lash out at him for any and everything, but he wasn't guilty of that one. Not in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, caller, thank you very much for that. Paul, let's take that last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Commission for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that declarations are due by 30th of July. If you're struggling to complete your annual declarations of interest, the Commission for Standards in Public Life has a new tutorial video available to provide further guidance. Visit Standards in Public Life Commission.ky/register of interest to view the tutorial video today.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 3 callers on hold. Those will be the last 3 calls for the morning. So I'm going to ask each caller to please be as brief as possible so that we are able to accommodate all of you. Meanwhile, the question that we had posed in relation to asking Dr. Steve McField which South American country they believe has done a total makeover of their constitution, a total modernization, which includes lots of women's rights, etc. I see here there's the question. This one says, which South American country is drafting a new constitution? And the answer, noted South American nation Chile is in the process of drafting a new constitution for the nation. In this regard, the Constitutional Assembly has recently elected epidemiologist Maria Eliza Quinteros as the new president to replace the body's inaugural president, Elisa Loncon. The country has decided to replace its previous Magna Carta, which was produced during the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. And for those of you who know South American history and know about the Pinochet regime in Chile and about all of the disappeared and everything else, you can imagine what kind of constitution was in place then. So it may be Chile, but if it isn't, we'll try to find some more about that as well. Let's grab these 3 callers, the 3 callers that we have left. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay. Well, when people are running for election, do they have to let people know if they have shares in CUC?
Well, there has to be a declaration of interest now that they're required to submit. Yes, candidates. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the last signing of the last 25-year deal with CUC. There was an individual who was working there, and while working there, he ran for election and he won election. And it wasn't too much longer after that. He was the one that they made sign the new 25-year deal with CUC, which I don't think is fair.
But he didn't sign it in his individual capacity.
No.
He would have signed it on behalf of cabinet.
Yes. But I still don't think it's right.
Okay, yeah. And
also, I think the problem about lowering CUC bills, I think the problem is because of who has shares in CUC. I think that's the main problem. Thank you.
Okay, and I just want to say to that caller, the former minister, I talk to him quite frequently, and I actually planning on having him come on the show to talk about, and he minces no words when it comes to his relationship with CUC and when that ended as well, but also to talk about the rate structure and everything else, and hopefully not too far in the future we will have him on as well. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning again.
Good morning again.
I just want to say a quick good morning to 2 gentle ladies whom I don't hear enough from in my humble opinion.
Sure.
But I heard one this morning, Miss Alice May of West Bay. Miss Alice May, good morning. I would just like to take off your glasses and try to see behind them of all the things that you're depriving us of from that great mind of yours. I think there's a lot more that you hold in reserve and you don't really give us. But for the little bit that you will give us, I'm grateful and relaxed every time. She is just so calm and so purposeful and so focused and such a deep and, unending reservoir of knowledge. And I don't know why you don't do more than you do. And we talk about this stuff, I was glad to hear from you this morning, ma'am. And the other gentle lady is Madam Speaker, of course. Not always so reserved, but such a great wealth of knowledge. And she invigorates and encourages you each and every time you hear her from that public platform. So good morning to both of you. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Before we go to the next caller, I want to, I'll take the caller first, and then hopefully I'll have enough time to share this with you. We're talking about Caymanians promotion in the Cayman Islands, and that's good, being the first and everything else. We have a veterinarian in Canada who is a Caymanian. And you know where she's heading? She's heading off to Poland to assist over there, with the refugees and animals and everything else. And I'm going to share this article with you, and I will tell you her name later on as well. But a young Caymanian, a veterinarian who is in Canada and making waves. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning, Billy. Speaking of Canada.
Speaking of Canada, yeah, I'm reading. I'm hearing about the doctor who is making waves here.
Yes.
Why isn't that doctor coming to Cayman and becoming chief medical officer or some high post like that?
She's a vet. She's a veterinarian, and we have several Caymanian veterinarians here. We just saw recently where Dr. Dorman was promoted as well. And then, of course, we have some Caymanian vets in private practice. But she will be back home eventually. She's doing the right thing now, which is getting more experience abroad as well, getting recognition. But I'm sure she has a passion for Cayman, so she will be back home.
Oh, precisely. I mean, international experience here,
yes.
is very, very important, to enhance your qualifications. Well, I missed most of your show today.
Yeah, we were hoping that you would call, and we were sharing some articles about 1979 in the Northwestern newspaper. I don't know if you know about Desmond Seals. I think he had passed on by the time you were in Cayman, or maybe not.
No. I met Desmond Seals. I was in Cayman then. I met him, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you see, because I joined you so late, but then I saw Dr. Steve was on. So during your ads, I've been going back to catch what you and Dr. Steve were saying. So what I did catch is the new Assistant Solicitor General.
Yes.
Well, very briefly, since I know you want to wind up in a minute, basically is to agree with what Dr. Steve and you have said. This idea of rejoicing because one little thing has been done by a Caymanian has been appointed and so on, that thing must, in a sense, it must stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people are exploiting you, they know how to work it. They give all the key posts to the people who are from outside, status holders and expat people. They give them, and then they give you one small one as a Caymanian, just to shut you up a little bit, to make it look like the system is working well. Maybe it didn't work very well, but it is there. And to me, I agree with Dr. Steve, this is not something for any Caymanian to rejoice. It is a time to say, why has it happened now, and to put together some programs to ensure that this does not happen, because until you rein in two things in Cayman, one, PR and status grants, until you rein in those, and two, ensure that there is a real preference in government for Caymanians. I've given the details of what the laws need to be amended. Until you do those two things and so on, this is just another way of them better preparing you and to lull you into complacency, to think that there is change. I should stop right there. That's all I wanted to say today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Billy, for that. So, our proud Caymanian in Canada, this is an article by Natalia Vega, says a local veterinarian is on her way. And notice she's Caymanian, but they say local. They want to claim her, Cayman. They want to claim her over in Canada as well. But we will have her back here in Cayman at some point in time. So it says a local veterinarian is on her way to Poland to help animals affected or injured during the war in Ukraine. Dr. Melody Moore, and she is the daughter of Mr. Alan Moore, also known as Haha, and Miss Lorna Walton. So Dr. Melanie Moore of Corona works at Brights Grove Animal Hospital. With a flight scheduled to take off on Wednesday, Moore will spend 10 days helping different animal species with the Centaurus Foundation. Moore said the ability to provide free care to animals in need allows her to fulfill her life's purpose. When I saw a lot of the images of people trying to flee Ukraine and having their animals with them, and a lot of them not even wanting to flee the country because they couldn't take their animals, that for me was an indicator that I needed to go abroad, she said. I am very much aware that veterinary medicine is a very pricey profession and it's not easily accessible to everybody, and that is something that I try to tackle every day. Moore is not unfamiliar with traveling abroad to provide veterinary services. Originally from the Cayman Islands, so they acknowledge that, originally from the Cayman Islands, Moore watched her philanthropic father help others within the community. And Mr. Alan Moore, Haha, is extremely philanthropic as well. She's quoted as saying, I was always very into giving back and doing what I can, she said. My last vet trip abroad was to Nepal and Thailand, which was back in 2018. The trip to Poland will be the first time Moore is traveling overseas to offer vet services since the COVID-19 pandemic began. Moore said she's going to Poland with an open mind in terms of what state the animals in need will be in. I've been keeping in contact with a lot of the organizations, and they're seeing a lot of different things. A lot of animals just need generalized wound care to more serious things that have lacerations. There's a lot of animals that are in pain because of broken bones or fractures, said Moore. The local vet will also see different species, including horses, rams, and alpacas. Luckily, Moore will not have to dip into her own savings to help animals, thanks to donations from some clients and financial support from the Brights Grove Animal Hospital and Serena and District Humane Society. Moore is taking $5,000 worth of medical supplies, or about 4 suitcases full of items. I feel like the support and the love has been very overwhelming, she said. I am not sure what I'm going to be stepping into when I get off the plane, but I know that I have so much support and so much love behind me. The Centaurs Foundation is a non-profit organization that has spent years rescuing animals. So we want to say safe travels to Dr. Melanie Moore, and you make us here in the Cayman Islands extremely proud, including your dad, Mr. Alan Haha Moore, and your mom, Miss Lorna Walton, as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital.